All right, today we're tackling a book that, honestly, it might just challenge everything you believe about happiness, freedom, and even your own past. It's called The Courage to Be Disliked, and it's basically your crash course in the psychology of Alfred Adler. Let's get into it. So let's just jump right in with a pretty wild question. What if your past has no power over you? I mean, think about it. Your past trauma, your childhood, all that stuff you carry around. What if none of it actually defines who you are today? It's a huge idea, right? And it's pretty much the foundation for everything we're going to talk about. Okay, so the first big thing we have to unpack is what the book calls the myth of trauma. You know the story we all tell ourselves, right? That our past experiences, especially the bad ones, are the reason for our problems today. Well, Adlerian psychology says, nope, not true. It completely throws that idea out the window. This is where it gets really interesting. You've got two completely different ways of looking at things here. On one hand, you have the Freudian view, which is all about etiology, cause and effect. It says something happened in your past, and that's the cause of how you feel right now. But Adler's view, called teleology, flips that script completely. It says we're not being pushed by our past, we're being pulled by a goal in the present. We actually subconsciously cook up the right emotions to help us reach whatever that goal is. Okay, let's make this real. The book uses this amazing example of a friend who won't leave their room. Now, the usual thinking is, oh, some past trauma must have caused their anxiety. But the Adlerian take? It's that the friend first decided on a goal. I don't want to go out. Maybe they want to avoid social pressure, maybe they want their parents to worry about them. So to achieve that goal, they create the feeling of anxiety. The anxiety becomes the perfect excuse to stay home. It's serving a purpose. So here's the bottom line, and this is so powerful. It's not what happens to you that matters. It's the meaning you give to what happens. You're not a product of your circumstances. You are the one who decides what those circumstances mean. You are literally the author of your own story. All right, so if our past isn't the problem, what is? What's really holding us back? Well, that brings us to the next big idea, and it's a huge one, the approval trap, that constant, nagging need to be liked by everyone. And look, we all get it. We all want to be liked. We want our parents to be proud, our boss to notice our work, our friends to think we're cool. It's a totally human thing. It feels great to get that pat on the back, right? We're social creatures after all. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. What's the price you pay for that? If your whole life is just about trying to meet everyone else's expectations, whose life are you actually living? Is it yours, or is it the one they want for you? The book argues that the cost of constantly seeking approval is your own freedom. So how do you get out of this trap? Well, Adler offers this incredibly simple, but really hard to do tool. It's called the separation of tasks, and it's all about figuring out what's your business and what's someone else's. It works like this. Step 1. What is your task? Like, what's the choice that is 100% up to you? Step 2. How someone else feels about your choice, that's their task, not yours. Their reaction, their opinion, their feelings, that's their stuff. And step 3, and this is the hard part, stay out of their business. You can't control their task, so don't even try. You choose a career path, that's your task. Whether your parents approve, that's theirs. Okay, so we've thrown out the excuse of our past. We're trying to stop caring what everyone thinks. So what's left? What's the real root cause of all our problems? Adler has this shockingly simple answer. Yeah, once you peel back those two big layers, the lie that your past defines you and the trap of seeking approval, you finally get to the core of the issue. And here it is. All problems are interpersonal relationship problems. That's it. Every single problem. That feeling of anxiety you have, your career struggles, your self-doubt. According to Adler, it all comes down to your relationships with other people. Wow. And it makes sense when you think about it. Take feeling inferior, for example. You can't feel inferior in a vacuum, right? You only feel less than when you're comparing yourself to someone else. It's a social thing. If you were stranded alone on a desert island, the idea of being inferior wouldn't even cross your mind. Okay, so that's a pretty heavy diagnosis. If all our problems come from other people, how on earth are we supposed to be happy? Well, let's talk about the path forward. So, what is happiness, according to Adler? It's not getting that promotion. It's not getting a million likes on social media. It's something much simpler and honestly much more profound. Happiness is the feeling of contribution. It's that feeling you get when you know you're useful to someone. And this feeling of contribution rests on three key pillars. First, you've got self-acceptance. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being okay with who you are right now, flaws and all. Second is confidence in others. This means choosing to trust people, to see them as your comrades, not your competition. And finally, contribution to others. This is where you put it all into practice and find your worth by being useful to your community. But to actually do all this, to separate your tasks, to contribute without needing a thank you, to really live for yourself, it takes one last piece of the puzzle. One final, massive act of courage. And this is the big one. The idea the whole book is named after. Freedom is being disliked by other people. I mean, think about it. When you truly live by your own rules, when you are authentically yourself, it is inevitable that someone out there is not going to approve. Being disliked isn't the goal, but it's the proof. It's the price you pay for being truly free. So in the end, you can't wait around for other people to give you permission. You can't wait for your past to magically disappear, because you're the one giving it power in the first place. The responsibility and the power is all yours. As Adler says, someone has to start, so why not you? The book leaves us with that challenge. What are you going to start today?